And open wide.
Open wide!
Fantastic.
Today, not necessarily not. You're always late with the glasses. Not necessarily not the news, starring Military Mike and co-hosted by the Senate comedian Scott Machette.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Doing good. How about you? Can we take these glasses off now?
Oh, sure. We got 3, 2, 1. Boom. Fantastic.
Man, what a week in the news.
Woo, I'll tell you what. I had so much fun. Oh, my
The
goodness.
Queen died.
Well, that was sad.
Was it sad?
Yeah.
Do you support the Queen?
With no due deference.
Well, not emotionally, or I think not financially speaking, but yes, I was an admirer of the Queen.
You know what somebody told me? That they were the most successful welfare family on the planet.
Well, I can understand how normal people could think that, but
I like Princess Diana.
Let's go back to history in World War II. Queen Elizabeth was a mechanic in the British Army.
Really?
Yes.
How about that? I heard she had a
sitting
great.
around on a royal throne.
I heard she had a great sense of
enjoying
humor.
champagne. When the ships were down, she was a mechanic in the British Army, and I think the inspiration she was to her people at the toughest time for the Western civilization of World War II. I give her a lot of credit. I do appreciate her.
I didn't know her. Didn't know her personally.
We're not going to pour the first thing out like we in the hood because we don't want to waste no.
Yeah.
But
no, we're not going to do any for our
pour
sister.
Pour it out for my homie.
Except for the homie's mom.
Well, it would be a 40 ounce and you would pour the first out. I'm like, that's getting on the floor. What are you doing?
You know what I thought of today is because I saw that her coffin is she's actually getting more frequent flyer miles in her coffin than she was for the last couple of months. Okay, that was probably in poor taste, maybe a little bit too close or too soon.
So I was fooling with the technology. I want to see if it works.
So yeah, you're taking a video of us doing a video.
Well, not that we're narcissistic, but you look great, Mike. You look great. I just want to see if the damn thing is going on Facebook.
For those of you who don't know, the Senate comedian is actually technically challenged at best.
They were just doing a zooming on a selfie of our fat faces, Mike. We wanted the show to go live on Facebook. That's all we wanted.
I think we're live on Facebook.
Do you think?
We are.
Yeah, the producer says we're live on Facebook.
All right, I hope so. I just wanted to share the damn thing.
Of course, it gets archived to our YouTube channel, which if you're just kind of perusing around YouTube, go to Not Necessarily Not the News and subscribe. Because we know we're going to eventually get kicked off of Facebook.
All right, we'll just go back to the
talking
show.
about that.
We're much more likely to get thrown off of YouTube.
Yeah, more likely. It's just what it is. I was in Facebook jail last week. Me.
For what?
Me.
Being a deplorable?
Oh, no. This is so stupid. Okay, so apparently
He's talking about trainees with skin tags.
Oh, dear. Well, that's a
Here we
sexy
go.
topic.
Skin tags.
Chris Lowry knows how to get the party started after midnight.
Here we go. You're going to talk about my skin tags.
Don't
I'm
tell-
so confident about this. No, okay, get this. My account got restricted. You ready? For a post, not by me, by somebody in a thread on one of my posts from 2011.
That's ridiculous.
So I'm telling a friend of mine, Mark Clark, who is a VA mortgage specialist here in Georgia, if he's listening. I don't know if he is, but that was a great shameless plug. So I'm telling Mark, because Mark's like, hey, you haven't posted any of my videos in the Vet Radio Syndicate. And I said, well, the reason being is I can't do anything on Facebook right now.
This is from 2010?
My thing was from 2011, and it wasn't what I posted was okay, but somebody in the thread posted something that didn't follow their standards.
Would this have happened if the person was a pro-aggressive?
Can you imagine?
If they're nitpicking stuff that you didn't even do from 11 years ago?
That's ridiculous. Okay, so I'm telling my friend about it, and you saw the text before the show.
You just got the text I sent you from
12
Colombia.
years ago, he had the same thing. He had a post a couple of months ago that locked him out of Facebook from 12 years ago. Come on, guys.
And it's not like you guys are having performance problems. The problem is Facebook.
Yeah, Zuckerberg apparently works for the FBI anyways.
What's scary is the private sector's technology is so much more efficient than George Orwell could have ever imagined. Government censorship is bad enough, but when it's private sector like Facebook, YouTube censorship...
Can you imagine guys like Roddenberry and these guys that wrote all this stuff?
Richard Pryor or George Carlin or Rodney Dangerfield?
All of their stuff right now would be looked at like, oh my God. All in the Family. Oh my God!
Oh yeah,
and the Jeffersons.
Yeah, they couldn't show one episode. Couldn't show one episode. Absolutely ridiculous.
Good Time showed values and right and wrong and integrity. We can't have that.
So, did you watch any of the news shows Sunday morning?
Hell no! I was in South America.
They don't have news shows in South
Well,
America.
it's funny you mentioned that, being the dork that I am. Okay. You
Don't they have Univision?
Yes, and they have double vision and triple and trace and quadruple vision too. But you're not going to believe this. I noticed this when I was there in April. CNN Espanol, which is what you see if you're in South America, if you put on CNN.
Or if you hit the SAP button.
Yes, CNN, SOCK, yes, hooked on phonics, worked for me. But if you put on CNN Espanol, I couldn't believe it. And it was the same thing I was in April. I noticed they actually had fairly frequent coverage of Hunter Biden's laptop. On CNN Espanol,
No way.
they covered it more than if it was Fox News.
Have you ever seen Sky News in Australia?
I have.
They hate Biden.
Dude.
They hate Biden.
Or they're just
they make fun of Biden
Or they're
every
just
day.
objective journalists like what we kill to have here in America. Maybe they're just doing their job.
Let's not go there, please.
I'm just
Let's not go
saying.
there. You know,
they might
Kamala
say
Harris.
the same damn thing if it was somebody on the right. Truth is truth.
Oh, yeah.
And all they're saying
Well,
is the truth.
Kamala Harris on the news shows this weekend, she said the borders are perfectly safe.
Yes, and I'm
The only problem is what's still lingering from 4 years ago. 4 years ago. You guys have been in office for 2 years, and you're still blaming the previous administration.
My buddy's in Border Patrol, and he told me they've literally moved people from protecting the border to process more people coming in. So when there's no one at all guarding the border, you have 90+% of our people that would be at least patrolling something on the border. Now they're processing people, and there's no one there, so it's going to be never-ending processing.
I wonder if that, did those guys...
They pulled U.S.
Yeah.
Border Patrol off to send you to Poland to deal with Ukraine
Yeah.
crisis.
Well, here we go.
Now, okay, so let me ask you a question.
It looks like we
If
don't
you
give a
go
damn
through-
about our border, but Ukraine's border is the only one that matters.
If you go through border control school,
There's no control.
do they teach you how to do paper?
I have more portion control at the border. I have more portion control at the Golden Corral than we have border control on our southern border.
So-
So let me say something positive real quick. When
Something
I was
positive.
Yes. CNN Espanol. It probably doesn't matter, but I just want you guys to know. People in South America, you put on CNN Espanol, and this one, Hunter Biden, muchos problemas, más problemas. Hunter Biden, laptop, no me gusta, más problemas. Hunter Biden. And I'm like, imagine if we could have that kind of CNN here in America.
Well, their ratings would be up. Bum.
Yes, exactly. So is that a good segue to our first
Okay,
story?
you know what? The funny thing about our segments tonight, I don't have
we
the
made it
mouse.
funny or no?
I don't have the mouse. The producer still has the mouse.
No shit. Okay. Well, here, go ahead, say hi.
Do we have to pay you extra
Put your
if
big
you're in the
picture
camera?
in there. That's our producer, Mr. Andre the Giant, who speaks 8 languages.
Dude, our producer, ladies and gentlemen, Chris
Sagwa
Lowry.
Hamida. Sagwa Hamida.
I'll have what he's having.
Yeah, our producer, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Lowry from the Fresh Fire Mind. Every day on Facebook from 7 in the morning.
7:30.
7:30 in the
7:30, Fresh
morning.
Fire Mind every morning.
Man,
Until I'm tired of running my damn mouth.
Monday through
We thank
Friday,
for
man.
having-
How
we
you
love
do,
Mr. Lowry.
How you do a live show
Cheers to you,
every
Mr.
morning,
Lowry.
man.
Every
God,
morning.
Here's to the Queen.
Well, for starters, I don't sleep a lot.
Well,
He's a very busy man.
yeah.
I have to sleep to rest, you know.
Make
up for my lack of sleep.
You don't sleep either. I
Well,
get text messages in the middle of the night from you.
That's only when I was in
in South America.
It was 10 o'clock.
Do you,
and I
you,
called
got, you
too.
got a lot of frequent flyer miles. You must. You go down there a lot.
Well, yes, I don't want to talk specifically about my private life, but it was very frequent and lots of miles.
I've got pictures.
No, G-rated, Mike, G-rated.
No, they were.
They
They
were-
were. Yeah, they were. You said some sunsets.
Whatever
and
I
stuff
do
like that.
privately, I try to be a somewhat classy person
Yeah.
publicly. So, like my Facebook post, it's sunsets, it's skylines.
Yeah,
You know,
it was
not-
nice. If I took pictures when I was on vacation, you'd get my front door, my dogs. I don't go or do anything.
Well, that's up to you.
I have a pathetic.
I'm here to provide you with opportunities, okay?
I
Shame,
just don't do. I just don't do
shame.
south of the border, man.
I offered to pay for the damn trip.
I'm a European guy.
I have issues
passport
with my passport, and I'm Italian. I offered to pay for the damn trip. Well, I have issues
passport
with my
issues.
passport.
I do have passport
I'm
issues.
Italian. I have issues.
I need about $3,000 to take.
We better get to a story. We're just going to be yapping away.
I know, and he already yelled at us about 7:45. So
Yeah, that's true.
All
That's
right,
true. Okay,
so
cool.
this is your story, isn't it? You've got the first story.
Yeah, how's this thingy? Like this?
Yeah, you want me to do it, or you want so
You
you,
do
can
a big
talk?
fella,
Okay,
right.
all right. You want me to scroll down a little bit? Or you want to
Yes.
read the headline?
I'll read the headline. Ozzy Osbourne announces he's moving back to the UK with wife Sharon. I don't want to die in America.
Sharon.
Yeah,
I just
so
had
scroll
to do
down
that.
a little. And basically,
She's so pretty, isn't she? For her age, she's adorable.
yes, I'm not really interested in her aesthetic appearance. The point
okay.
of, yes, she's wonderful. She's beautiful.
Yeah, she's
Good for her.
beautiful. I didn't like her on that
Look,
show.
I don't really like or dislike the Osbournes. They are who they are. I don't see them as great, bad, or indifferent. But I just thought it was interesting how the media takes the story and they make it a gun control piece. You see, they focus on the mass shootings, okay? Which obviously, I'm not saying that isn't happening, but you can get shot just getting gas without mentioning any specifics, Big Mike.
I don't know that you should be using Ozzy Osbourne as your spokesperson for
Any kind of control, any kind of anything. But so they cover it like it's just because of the I'm pretty sure Ozzy Osbourne is just as terrified to get shot walking through the streets of Los Angeles as he is if it's a mass shooting. If he's a one-person shot, that's why he doesn't want to die in America.
I would think he's probably scared to death just to die walking.
So
he looks like dead man walking anyways.
And because of how dangerous it is here in America, it's a segue to my recent wonderful trip to Colombia. Some of my dear family friends are worried about my safety down there, and I literally try to tell them, it's a lot safer than getting gas in Atlanta. It's a lot safer than walking through our cities.
I'm going to be honest, man. I've gotten to where now I pretty much carry a gun all the time. And people ask me, and because I'm a combat vet, and they go, "Wow, you carry a gun. Would you really shoot somebody?"
Sure she would.
And you know what I tell them?
I've seen
Yep, in
you
a second. Yep. Chris said, "Yep, I've seen them do it." Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Now, you know what? I don't think I could stick somebody, like knife them.
Sure you could.
I don't know.
I saw people do it in the back of the Senate for 20 years. I know you could do it in real life. When the moment is right, Big Mike is ready.
They say to knife somebody is a whole different thing. I've never been a.
It is.
I've never been.
Look at Chris.
Wow.
He
Suddenly
has
the
more
producer's
enthusiasm.
eyes just lit up.
Oh my goodness.
Holy smokes, man! We got his attention
He has
now.
more enthusiasm than Bill Clinton on intern orientation. He's like, yes. Oh my God, it's so much fun. Let me tell you about it. Chris, did you want to share an observation with us on knife work, or just no? Okay.
No, he
I've
played
killed
the fifth.
anybody in 10 years.
So
Yeah, I haven't. You know what I like when little kids ask me, "Have you ever killed anybody?" I always lean over and I go, "Not for food."
just my soul when I worked. Just my soul when I worked in Congress.
Yeah,
Killing me
really,
slowly.
really.
No, but some of our listeners, I just want to point out, you guys are big, awesome, tough dudes, and that's great, and I feel safe around you. But some of us are just dorks or not super tough dudes. So not everyone, I'm as likely to shoot myself in the foot verbally or physically than
Scott,
get the right
I've seen
person.
you in a lot of different environments, and
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, the fear that people have of me doing something bad to somebody is clearly outweighed by your ability to talk to everybody and anybody.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? You intermingle within the races, within the levels, male,
In Mexico,
female.
in the nightlife, in Colombia.
No, seriously. I saw a picture of you and you were eating breakfast with a bunch of people.
Yep.
And I know it was somebody you probably just met the day before.
Oh yes. By the way, back to Colombia, this wonderful family invited us to breakfast. My friend
I
Adam
could
and
tell. I could tell.
but it was just so much fun. I was just pointing out, and I appreciate your kind words. The one reason I am still alive is that you don't show any fear. So
Right.
any life in that situation,
Right.
if you don't show any fear, you're going to get through it.
The bad guy, too, doesn't see any advantage or disadvantage to being your friend.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
With me or with our producer, who pretty much makes up two people, there were that initial thing of, if this doesn't go right, I've got an enemy in this huge fellow.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But with you, they don't look at it that way. I think you intermingle.
I'm not
between the
threatening.
two.
I'm just
Yeah.
socially assimilate.
Yeah, well, that's great. You know what? We need more of that. We do. We need more.
Well, thank you.
All right,
but I
so-
will say, if I wasn't fat, I wouldn't still be alive. Because my tummy, when thugs go wild, almost shot my ass just for my ethnicity. My tummy saved my life, and it's done it before, and it'll do it again.
I have seen you rub your belly a lot.
So the funny part, our first day in Colombia, we ended up hiking this beautiful volcanic rock in the mountains of Colombia.
Wow.
It's called Getape. And I tell you the story because there was someone else on our tour who very nicely pointed out this huge mural painting on the side of a wall in this colonial village. And I look at him, I go, "Oh, is it a bullfighter?" And he says, "It's Freddie Mercury." And I said, "I thought it was a bullfighter." And so he's laughing at me because I thought it was a bullfighter. It's Freddie Mercury. And I look at the guy and I said, "But he's got a flamboyant cape on. He's dancing around. Maybe the bullfighter wants to sing."
That's probably Freddie Mercury.
Anyways, it was so much fun.
All right. All right,
But back to our stories.
Yep, now we got to jump to the next story. This is one of my stories.
We're having so much fun, we're going to run out of time. That's a good problem to have.
Right. We're running out of time on the first two stories. Public health alert for certain HelloFresh meal kits.
Ah,
Okay, look, I'm going to admit everything right here. I'm laying it on the table.
you got me in HelloFresh.
I'm a HelloFresh guy.
did.
I do. I get 4 meals a week delivered to my house. Look, I'm a single guy, and if I go grocery shopping, half of what I buy in produce and perishables goes bad. So I figured I'd get
I'll eat it.
HelloFresh. I said I figure if I got HelloFresh, I'd have a cookable meal the majority of the week, right? And tell you the honest goodness truth, it actually works out pretty good. Then I saw this, and isn't there something ironically stupid funny about a company called HelloFresh that has
Safety alert.
as a food and safety inspection service
Yes.
issue a public health alert on a possible E. coli in the ground beef. So you know what I did? I thought to myself, I have ground beef in the refrigerator.
You ate it.
What am I going to do?
Eat it.
I went and checked.
No.
I did to make sure the lot numbers didn't match
Did you
up.
eat it?
Because here's the problem. If the ground beef was bad, I'd have to throw it out. Then I'd have to contact HelloFresh, which they've got a great customer service. They do.
All right.
And they would have said, sir, we'll send you out another ground beef.
Well,
but it
okay.
probably wouldn't get to me for about a week.
You sound awful health conscious for special forces there. I don't know.
But here's the thing. All the vegetables that would have been in that ground beef dinner would have been spoiled. Because the vegetables last
As long as you don't get spoiled.
just about a week, and then those vegetables go bad too.
But your
So,
beef, I never said this to a man before, your beef was okay.
my beef was okay, and thank you for asking.
No problems with your beef.
My beef was just fine. Thank you.
I'm glad it performed well.
And next time there's
Go.
a health scare, I'll
We're going to think
call
about
you.
my
Come
beef.
check
Oh
my
my
beef.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
Moving on to the next story. Now you make me feel
Let me tell you
bad.
something. Spinach, beef, salads. What? I had never heard a recall on those Doritos for some E. coli.
That's right.
Doritos,
No recall.
no recall.
Doritos are your friend.
Yeah.
That's right.
Doritos.
Ice cream doesn't get recalled either.
No, and let me tell you something. What is it? Why is it when the weather changes, I crave freaking ice cream like crazy?
You go
Why
through
doesn't
some,
Dairy
some
Queen
noticeable
deliver?
changes with the weather there, brother.
You want to
Yeah.
become a millionaire? Start delivering Dairy Queen.
I mean, I'll fucking drive pizza to you. I'll drive ice cream if if I'm working for tips.
My Uber Eats people, they know me by first name. They knock on the door, Mike.
Well, there's a shocking revelation. Next thing you know, I was spotted at the Golden Corral my first day back in America. Next story. What do we got here?
This is you, buddy.
All
This
right.
is all you.
This is priceless.
You got to read the headline first, because this guy scares the crap out
So
of me.
this has been referred to as the Hitler speech because of the way, historically, you've seen the photos side by side where Hitler gave a speech where he's shaking him, and Biden gave a speech where he's taking him.
And Hitler gave a speech.
Yeah, they were like in a photo finish to see who could do more frightening speeches. But I think Biden's was less popular received with his people, apparently. So Democrats melt down after a CNN host criticized the Biden speech. Now, what's amazing about this...
We did?
Yeah.
Okay, I know that. Yeah, you have your
Performance problems.
Takes-
Don't tell anybody.
your lot number of your meat's gone.
Takes a confident man to admit his performance problems, BG. I'm just saying. I'll still make you laugh, big fella. So, what's amazing about this is that CNN actually criticized Joe Biden, okay? Like, I'm more likely to eat a salad at the Golden Corral than CNN is to say anything criticizing Joe Biden. And then people on PMSNBC, yes, I said that, PMSNBC were criticizing CNN, and Democrats were turning on each other like a circular firing squad.
Do you think CNN's at a point right now where they're kind of like almost, hey, look, our ratings are so far down, we might as well just take a shot?
That's speculation. It could be true. I don't pretend I have inside information that qualifies me to answer that.
God,
They
it
have
seems
new
like I would.
ownership.
Yeah.
And they're cleaning house with some of the old guard.
yeah, man, they're-
Zero integrity leftists on CNN. But I knew Brianna Killer, and honestly, she's a lovely person in person. She still followed me on
but when
Twitter.
she gets on TV,
All I'm saying is, why would she start making objective observations now? Okay, I know Brianna Killer almost as
when
many
did
years.
anchor people become actors and
When did
actresses?
Brianna Killer start making objective observations? Okay, like, really? You're going to start now? Why don't I just weigh myself and get concerned about my weight? What took you so long?
So did you watch the whole speech?
No, I didn't watch shit. I'm on vacation. But I read lots of articles.
I watched the whole speech.
I read
and
watched the clips of it.
I really came away with it. Look, I lived in Germany for 3 years, so that whole Hitler thing over there is like hush hush. You don't
Yeah.
talk about it. You don't bring it up. All that
One
other
person
stuff.
marches a little bit and they get scared.
Yeah, everybody gets a
I
little nervous.
understand.
Just me kicking my feet up sometimes, throwing a hand out. Would
Yeah,
really
you
cause
just
problems.
one of those Oktoberfest parades where they have the bands. Oh my God!
All right, so I'm seeing this and I'm literally
I'm
going.
scared the Germans won.
How in the world can anybody not be watching this?
And seeing the comparison?
Yeah, and not seeing the comparison. And how come nobody, the guy's got to be wearing an earpiece, right? You think he wears an earpiece?
He was in the debates, remember?
Yeah, so...
And then we're not supposed to say that, but he was.
Yeah, he had his head turned and everything, and then he's playing with it and stuff. But how come somebody's
then he took the earpiece. Oh, it was terrible.
Stop with that. And the leaning forward and whispering into the microphone.
Yep.
It's like...
Let's use this terrible story of Biden's disastrous Hitler speech debacle to segue into the next one. That way it has a continuity. Because in the next one, the very next day, Biden walks back everything he just said.
All right, so let's see.
The headline is Biden walks it back.
There we go.
That's it. Walk it back,
There we
walk
go.
it back. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, my
bad,
goodness.
bad.
That's all right. This is the New York Post.
I was over-emptive on my mouseketeering.
You were premature on your preemption.
a little bit so it matches better.
There we go. Outstanding. The producer jumped in there and helped me out.
Well, thank you very much. So Biden, the next day, he walk it back. He walk it back. He walks back attacks on Trump voters in his anti-MAGA speech. So that, ironically, it's not like he's going to win over MAGA voters after politicization and weaponization of law enforcement to go against people in the first place. All that did was infuriate his own base by looking weak.
So now you really you screwed the other guys when you first said it. Now you're screwing your guys by backing it up.
CNN criticizing him, and then he just further infuriated his own people. And by the way, I haven't used any bad words tonight, and I'm very proud of myself.
I'm proud of you as well. Now, can you imagine working for this guy? Do you just show up to work every day going like this? Like, okay, gosh,
So 15
what's
years
going
ago,
to happen today?
when he was chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, I interviewed too, but that's a foreign policy dork. And if you're a Democrat and a foreign policy dork, you want to work for the foreign policy chairman. But that was a long time ago. So now I couldn't imagine it. But I did try 15 years ago when he was foreign policy chairman.
Do you think that his people make him walk these back? Or do you think he just comes to his senses?
No, because he doesn't know what he's doing in the first place. Okay? Stevie Wonder can see that.
That's a tricky question because he clearly didn't write the speech.
Yeah. And I don't think he's smart enough to like review the speech and say this is going to have this kind of effect.
Maybe years ago, but
not now. I think they put it in front of him. They may not even give it to him.
And then they make him walk it back, and then he's going to make John Kerry look authentic in the 2004 campaign.
I wonder if he's getting like internal confusion going.
You if he hadn't gotten away with everything he gotten away with, Mike, if he hadn't gotten away with everything he got away with, if he hadn't poured gas on the fire to deliberately divide us, as a human being, I would feel sorry for the man. Because the people around him don't give a damn about him. They just want their power. He's their access to power.
But now this is a good topic. This is a good topic, especially for our viewers and whatnot. Sure. Do you think he was behind? And now, look, I honestly believe that when this might get us shut down, but I think they stole the vote. Okay,
well, no shit.
Yeah. So now, do you think he was behind it, or he's just the reciprocal,
the beneficiary?
The beneficiary. Perfect.
I
answer.
don't know.
Yeah, I think he's just a beneficiary.
He did slip up once and say we have the most massive voter fraud organization.
Yeah, so he was probably getting briefings up until that point, and they said, "Okay, don't tell him nothing else."
He might have gotten the briefing on the fraud they were doing, and then he slipped up and said it.
Yeah, I think they were like, okay, well, don't tell him nothing else.
He's going to scream.
I think Pelosi's behind.
I'd be surprised if he's even allowed to carry the biscuit.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Which, honestly, as much as I despise Biden for everything he's gotten away with in deliberately destroying this country, what makes me more concerned is that shows nothing but weakness to Russia, to China.
Oh, yeah,
to
they
Iran.
see right through this.
Yeah.
And they're a lot more.
Have you watched the Jack Barsky interview yet?
No. But you're going to tell us all about it.
Yeah, I did. You said you were going to tell me when it was published.
It's published.
Oh, okay.
I published it last Wednesday.
Oh, well,
put a link.
if you don't tell
do
us.
it in the show.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yes,
Take it away. Take
it away.
Jack Barsky interview on Brushfire Mind.
Jack Barsky is a former top level.
So I did a 3-hour interview with Jack Barsky, former KGB spy.
Right.
And one of the things we talked about was the Ukraine situation. And I talked to him for 3 hours. I only published about an hour of that conversation.
Yeah, sure.
There was a chunk that, some of it was, us talking about our family and kids.
Sure.
Some of it was us talking about shit that we ain't never supposed to talk about.
Sure, just privately.
In the bright light of day.
Yeah. Well, very interesting. I'll definitely go back and watch that.
Will you put a link to that in the show in case anyone watches the show?
Yeah, post
They'll
it
see
on
Yeah,
it
I can
directly.
drop a link in
Yeah,
the
sure.
description.
We are not intimidated by the greatness of Mr. Andre the Giant Chris Lowry.
But-
This man is awesome talent.
And you really should be putting a link to your morning show on Not the News as well. Or just feed it directly to it. I'm fine with that.
Especially this interview. 3 hours, and he was a former top Russian spy guy.
Yeah, that'd be like super.
He
cool.
was the kind of KGB spy that comes to America and lives as an American.
Ooh, yeah, man.
with
Just like to show the Americans.
Has a regular job and lives
Wow.
like an American.
Look, I ain't
citizen.
gonna lie, man. I wanted to do that in Germany. I did. I wanted to be a counterintelligence
Wow.
guy.
He pulled it off
I
for
would've loved
10
that.
years.
I would have loved that because I could.
Before the
I could do
FBI
it.
caught him with a fucking listening device and his smoke detector.
Oh,
Wow, cool.
wow.
Very cool.
Back when the FBI was trying to catch the bad guys instead of making patriots the bad guys.
Yeah.
Hey, moving right along. Next story. What's your story, Big Sexy?
Okay, well, I was looking right here. This is my next one.
Oh.
Chief Justice John Roberts, he's upset. Scott, he's upset because the Supreme Court is losing its legitimacy.
Is that Al Franken right there?
That is Al Franken. When I saw him, I just can't take Al Franken because whenever I'm watching him, I always wait for him to end up going, "This is Al Franken."
The reason why this sucks for me is not just because you're absolutely
Wait, they
right.
got him on the show with this blonde and he didn't grab anybody's boobies?
Not because she was still awake. She was still awake.
But
Heyo!
I'm sure I disagree with everything Franken said, dumbass, leftist fool, but...
Not everything.
Okay.
I also like boobies.
Well, hey, who doesn't?
Yep.
Well, my alternative friends that was standing. Yes. But, so Al Franken in person, that man would tease me, I would tease him. He was so personable.
Yeah.
And once, because I didn't want to be a jerk, but since he's a, more famous comedian, and he was comedy first, then came to the Senate. I was in the
Yeah,
Senate.
he's
so-
basically Lewis Black for the government.
Oh, God, I
guess.
love Louis Bratt.
But he was comedy first, and that got him to the Senate. I was in the Senate so damn long, it made me become a comedian, just keep my sanity. So I didn't say in front of other people, okay, but in private, I told Senator Franken that I Googled Senate comedian, and I got more freaking hits on Google than he did. And he was like, that's awesome, that's great. Like, he wasn't, how comedians would be like,
I don't think he
"You
wants
breathe
to
in my
be.
oxygen."
Yeah, I don't think he wants to be part of the comedian set anymore. Does he?
I just thought that he had a very humble reaction about it. Now, we can blast everything he said. I'm sure he's probably full of
Right.
it, and I yield to the gentleman.
But the only thing I really wanted to bring up about this is Chief Justice John Roberts says he's worried that the Supreme Court is losing its legitimacy in the eyes of people that disagree with its decisions. Well, as far as I remember, people have always disagreed with the decisions, correct?
The whole reason for the Supreme Court is supposed to be a check on the tyranny of the majority.
Absolutely.
So if people are disagreeing with their decisions,
They're
that
doing
means
the
that it's
job.
working.
Right.
The checks and balances that our founding fathers
Okay,
set
so
up.
it says here that a June Gallup poll found that a record low 25% of respondents. See, that's the trick.
He's part of the reason why people lost faith in the court in the first place.
Absolutely. When everything was going on, he's like, well, we better not try anybody because they might get upset.
Remember all that evidence after the election that he chose not to look at?
Absolutely.
And to this day, people say there was no evidence. No. When the court says that you don't have standing,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean there's no evidence. What not standing means is we're not going to recognize you exist.
Exactly.
So why did I pay my taxes? I don't know.
Taxation without representation.
Exactly.
Dun, dun,
From
dun.
1776 to 1861. What time is it now? Oh, stay positive.
All right. So you want to do a story? Or you want me to do another one?
Oh, you go ahead. Do another one.
Okay,
I'm going to
this-
duck in the corner for 1 second. I'll be right back.
Oh, that's not
Achoo!
good. Oh, no. All right, so this little article right here I thought was creative. It says, I talked to 70 parents of highly successful adults, and here are 5 phrases that they always said to their kids. I was actually going to do my own 5 phrases, and I said, no, I better not. I better stick with this. And one that I think is beautiful. I can't do everything for you. Have you ever said that to your kids? I've never said that to my children, ever. Not once.
No,
now, all
no.
3 of my kids are successful, and my grandchildren.
It's not hard. The power phrases that
Yeah.
I use to raise my kids right.
I
Fall in,
fall in.
do push-ups,
Yes.
tie your shoes, pick that shit up,
Yes.
and take the cat out of your mouth.
Oh,
All right. So here's probably the speech that I've given all of my kids and all of my grandkids. And a shout out goes out to my grandson, B. He's up at Lyman School, humping and climbing poles these days.
well, professionally or militarily?
No, he's the lineman school is like being in the military. It really is. They really
Oh,
drill those
lineman.
guys.
Okay, he's
lineman like power
climbing
lines.
poles as in like a Bobby Brown nightlife situation.
No.
Bobby
Brown.
Brown. Huffing around.
I kicked Tommy Brown out of the club.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so I can't do everything for you. I can't imagine that ever saying. You know what I told my kids?
You've never said that to me before.
I always
Oh my
told my
goodness.
kids. I always said, one, if you want something that's going to go up for a vote or something that you have to be elected for or something you got to be picked for, make sure you do everything up front to be the only person they think can do the job.
Okay.
All right. So my kids have always done that, and my kids always get picked for promotions and stuff like that.
You make yourself
because
invaluable to management.
Exactly. The only other thing that I told my kids to always stick by was to be true. Okay. And when I say be true, we all lie, so it wasn't that. But I'm saying what you're doing, be true to. If you're not interested in it, don't do it.
That's why I told there to be no math involved this evening, Mike.
Right, it's like one of those things. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none.
No, master something.
That doesn't make sense
Yeah,
to me. Do the things you like and do them well. Do your best and be kind. So that's kind of along the same way. That sounds like something your parents would say to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does.
Definitely.
Yeah,
My parents and my grandparents.
Yeah.
They gave me flack because I said I didn't have a work ethic. So in the last show, I just want to explain that. I'm not saying I don't have one. I'm just saying compared to you guys and lots of my conservative, overachieving friends that run 5 businesses and you get up at 4 a.m. when I'm about to go to sleep in South America. I'm not saying I will show up on time, but it'll be like 2 minutes early and I'm going to say, you're welcome. Okay. I have a work ethic when I want to use it. I'm just saying compared to real overachievers.
I don't ever see where you're just sitting around on your laurels or nothing. You're always working.
Got to make it happen. Absolutely.
All right, number 3, if something doesn't work out, don't be sad. It may turn out to be a good thing later on. Okay.
Richard Nixon, 1960.
I don't think I ever said this. Have you ever said that to your kids? You don't have kids, but this is not something I'd probably say to my kids. If it doesn't work out, don't be sad. I always would. I
usually say something like, "Yo, suck less at this."
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. You know what I said? You know what I told my kid one time? There's no such thing as a starving artist. There's just artists that suck.
Or artists that won't get a job to pay the bills.
Yeah. That's because he was teetering around.
But wait,
that.
this last one here, Mike, if I have a spontaneous...
Well, no, that's not the last one. There's 5
but
of
the
them.
previous one.
Okay, the previous.
This reminds me, I made a wise-ass comment from South America on one of your Facebook posts. And what our listeners don't know and what you don't know, but I'm going to tell you right now, I was going to make another one, but I censored myself because I didn't want to piss you off. Mike made this great Facebook post and it said, never let a distraction interfere with your focus. Never let a distraction interfere with your focus.
You said something about married men.
Well, true, but we basically just lost most of the men that are currently in relationships, Mike.
But you see, if you're married, then your focus should be on your wife. And your
my
family.
God! So you have.
Look, I'm single. I'm trying anything I can.
Your marriage should be to have no balls. If let's say
oh no, they freeze them. They put them in the freezer.
Don't let this happen to you. Never leave home without American Express.
What's the best and worst thing that happened today? And you know what? In the military, they do that to you.
I was about to say that sounds like an AAR.
That sounds like an AAR. Give me 3 ups and 3 downs.
End of an inning? Oh, that was American Stripes.
But I can see doing this. Let's say at the dinner table. If families sit together and eat dinner anymore. I think this would be a good one to get your kids to talk to you at the dinner table. I'd say no electronic devices, and you got to tell me the best thing that happened today, and you got to tell me the worst thing that happened. And then what I would do is I would give about a minute to each one. I'd say, hey, that's great. You passed the test. You were studying for it. See, good things come to those who put in the effort. And then, the worst thing is so-and-so called me fat. And I'd say, okay, well, look at it this way. When winter comes, she's going to need 2 coats, and you'll only need 1.
I don't know who's writing up this politically correct stuff, but I could refrain from making a wise-ass comment because I don't want to undermine the positive nature of your observations.
No,
so what's the next one? I love you all.
Number 5 is I love you, and I just wanted to tell you guys I love you.
Aww.
And I love my grandson. He just called me before the show and just see what was going on, see if we were doing the show tonight. So I'm doing a shout out to him on all that. But I think it's important that we, and look, I say it one of my best friends in the whole wide world had a medical emergency last night, and he's having a little trouble talking and stuff. And I told him, I said, man, I love you, man. I do. I love you. Don't die on me, because then your wife's going to be hitting on me. And so then we started laughing.
Ooh, hey, if someone's got to take care of business, why not someone you trust? In the Arab world, when the guy dies, his brother takes over.
That's
I'm just
right.
saying,
That's
somebody
right.
you trust.
So,
Okay, shout out to my 6th grade crush, April Chidsey, who promoted our show last week on Facebook. April Chidsey, my 6th grade crush. Nothing but love for you, baby.
Nothing but love. See how
That's
that
right.
works. We all love each other.
All right, let's do this story here. We still have time because he said we have to talk about that major.
Okay, so is that
still have more
migrants
time.
bust to sanctuary
Yes.
cities?
Yeah.
Why can't I say that word?
Say sanctuary cities 3 times fast.
Sanctuary.
We can go with
Sanctuary
that.
cities. I'm still not saying it right.
And there's one here, and the mayor, what's her name? Lightfoot. Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Exactly. That's her. That's Lightfoot.
Juice.
So, the mayor of Chicago is outraged and indignant that she's been flooded with illegal immigrants. But this is the same policies that she recommended for the entire country because she's so proud to be a sanctuary city.
And look.
And then what is she doing? She's shipping them off to the suburbs, so she's still
I was about to say,
doing
she's
exactly
doing
what
the
she
same
said
thing
she
she's
did.
complaining about.
So I titled the story in Spanish translation, Hipocritas del Santuario, if I said it right. Hipocritas del Santuario, the sanctuary hypocrites.
Man, you're
Mayor Lightfoot.
spending a lot of time south of the border.
No, I Googled this at my Mexican restaurant, going over my notes. And I saw if someone's watching, they could correctly, precisely instruct.
Did you see what DeSantis said about this?
He said it was some bullshit. Hipocritas del Santuario, sanctuary hypocrites. What did DeSantis say?
Santos said he literally found a couple $1 million in the budget, and he will stop those buses at the border.
Good.
And send them back.
Good.
Let me tell you something. I don't even think he cares what state they go to, but they're not
But
coming to
it
his
took the
state.
governors of Florida and Texas sending their illegal aliens because this administration has no interest
look at
whatsoever
New York's
in enforcing
freaking
their own
out.
borders.
New York's
New York
freaking
is-
out. They're like, oh my God, you
But
can't
these
bring
are
them
the
here.
same people who said it was racist to have borders. Now they're doing the exact same thing that they said we shouldn't do. It's funny how when the shit hits the fan, they're complete hypocrites.
Yeah.
Now that segues to the next story, which we can still work in.
Okay.
About, surprise, surprise, this lady, that's it, Democratic mayoral candidate.
Sorry, folks. That's what
What a Fox News
the
bundle.
internet, the freaking internet has turned into freaking.
Now, I believe she's currently a member, Congressional Black Caucus member of Congress, because I swear, I got drunk with this lady once or twice back in the day.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
And, with my fun personality.
Karen Bass, is that her name?
Yeah. If you don't want to kill me in the first 10 minutes, we'll probably get along. So, personality-wise, okay. But it's kind of ironic because she's a big proponent of gun control, banning guns. Well, come to find out, someone broke into her house. And what does that say, Mike? What happened when they broke into her house? 2 firearms.
What?
Now, if you believe in gun control...
It appears that only 2 firearms, despite being safely and securely stored,
But
were stolen.
How does she have firearms if she believes in gun control?
Well-
so it's kind of like a chronological theme of hypocrisy.
Gun control for others.
Oh, but not her.
Yeah, not my security.
Everyone else
Yeah.
is supposed to have gun control,
Yeah.
but her security detail and herself is not supposed to have gun control.
Oh, it's just like, no walls, and then you go to Pelosi's house, and there's a giant wall built.
And the people who believe in walls, they have walls bigger than my ego.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to my friend Fast Eddie once again on the 9th hole of his golf course gated community in Fairfax. You have to go through 2 walls and show ID, and then a 3rd wall just to use the pool. But the point on this unfortunate, more progressive hypocrisy is she believes in gun control, but not for her. Other people believe in borders, but not for them. Sanctuary cities, but not when they feel the consequences.
The borders are safe.
And this lady here reminds me, he was a good dude, but when I lived in the D.C. area, there was a very famous, nationally syndicated progressive columnist called William Raspberry. William Raspberry was a nationally syndicated liberal columnist. Nice fella, really, but he was a huge advocate of gun control. Well, guess what happened one day when thugs gone wild broke into his house?
Ruh-roh.
He shot them with a loaded handgun that at the time was completely illegal in D.C. So he's a big gun control advocate, just not for himself.
As long as it doesn't apply to me.
It's progressive hypocrisy gone wild.
Isn't that what they call Ogle, when there's a president or a czar, or it's.
Are you saying there's some hypocritical bullshit?
Yeah,
that's what the man trying to say.
I was trying to.
We still got time for one of your stories.
We do. This is a super quick one. This is a super quick one. Earth is spinning faster. Get it? Super quick one. Get it? Super quick.
I never heard a man say that before.
Earth is spinning faster than usual.
He do what he wants.
Leading to the shortest day ever recorded. Get what I'm saying? Like quick. It's a quick story.
Okay.
This is quicker than normal.
If you say so.
Because the Earth.
Will you keep
saying God, man.
Jenny.
I'm working this pun in there.
Oh my God.
The lowest form of comedy known to man. The pun.
Keep working.
Okay, so we might need to consider a negative leap second.
Yeah.
There are people getting paid a lot more money.
That sentence for a moment, my man.
There are lots of people out there getting paid lots of money to come up with this.
We could have had a bunch of these leap seconds
The
in time.
minuscule change in time
this story.
means we might need to consider a negative leap.
Whoa.
Negative inverted 4G dive.
I was told there'd be no math involved, ladies and gentlemen. I was told there would be no math involved. I yield to the gentleman. It's time to do like physics and time traveling, quantum something.
Now for the top story of the night.
Here we go.
This is not necessarily not the news.
Number one story.
Top story from the NPR. A shipment of baby wipes turns out to be $11.8 million worth of, you guessed it, cocaine.
Oh my goodness.
I wonder if they thought
cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I wonder if they thought that the smell of it would elude the dogs.
I don't know. When I first I saw that, I thought I literally.
Scott, tell me, does this cocaine smell funny?
No, it smells normal to me. Achoo!
Look at all that cocaine.
I saw that. I thought of Leonard Skinner's "Smell of Death Surrounds You," because that's just
Okay,
once in a while, but that's a lot all at once now.
And look, I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't read this whole story in detail and all, and I don't think they really mention what type of vehicle it was in. Did they?
Big one.
Can you look at all that cocaine?
1,500.
Well, I gotta go back down south to South America. I'll see you later, fellas. Oh my goodness. I gotta go. Oh,
that's a lot of cocaine to just be coming over the border. You know what they say? They said years ago that they would allow shipments to go over, and the guys would be like
under NAFTA with the trucks, right?
Yeah. And they purposely want them to get caught so that they felt the DEA and the Border Patrol were doing their job, and
they look good for PR purposes.
Yeah, and this
one got caught accidentally.
They wouldn't look at the submarine with this much cocaine.
Right.
But this came across the border. Can you imagine that guy that went, I just really think this vehicle's got some cocaine in it. I'm going to look a little harder. Okay, he got promoted this week.
Maybe, or maybe he didn't because he actually did his job, right?
Look, buddy, if you work for me and you find $11.8 million worth of cocaine, 1,500 pounds of cocaine, I'm giving you the next rank. Whatever it is, I'm giving you the next rank and the weekend off, buddy. You don't have to process any immigrants this weekend.
A little bit, even though I totally agree with you guys, I'll just respectfully pointing out, not everyone has your integrity. I dare say mine, okay? In the current administration, it's not always the priority to enforce a damn thing. Yeah. So I'm just saying, for all we know, maybe somebody's taking a cut from the cartels and he found some shit he wasn't supposed to find. The way it is in this administration, he might get in trouble.
I don't know. Do you know where this is? The Laredo Columbia Solidarity Bridge?
Believe it or not, I haven't been there, but
okay.
I'm told by friends that's the Texas-Mexican border.
Is that what it's called?
Because it says Nuevo Leon, and I know that's the part of Mexico that borders Texas.
Okay, so right here it says connects Laredo, Texas, over the Rio Grande.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I've never.
Rio Grande's got to be Mexico, Texas.
Gotta be. Look at all that cocaine.
We got my NRA convention coming up in Laredo.
Scott, look at all that cocaine.
All right, geez, I'm trying to just party once in a while. I get back to America. You give me $11 million of cocaine here.
Okay.
Well, that's how fat I am. He's determined that I lose weight.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Thanks for the bump, Mike.
That had to be loaded in a truck, right? I mean...
I just hope the guy that found it I hope the guy that found it doesn't get in trouble at CBP. I really hope he doesn't. Under this administration, he might actually get in trouble for doing his damn job. And that's not trying to be funny.
Wow.
I wish it wasn't.
Yeah. This seizure is a prime example of border security management.
Oh, seizure.
And
What's going on? He said a seizure.
$11 million worth of cocaine. I bet you are doing some twitching, buddy.
Shake,
you look like bacon.
Shake it all the time.
And how it helps prevent dangerous narcotics from reaching our communities. This, you know what? Now you got me thinking. This could be one of these PR stories to make it sound like we're really trying to stop the fentanyl.
If they gave a shit about our health, we wouldn't have a wide open border with the cartels in control of our border. So it's probably something.
11.8 million.
Some guy pissed somebody off, and his buddies probably said, "Okay, we'll throw him to the wolves." And here we are.
Wow, absolutely amazing. Well, you know what? We covered all our stories. We're within our time limit.
We did great.
We did super good. My phone's been going off like crazy.
I only blew my nose once.
Only had to blow your nose.
I was hoping not to do it at all. But,
do you always, whenever I used to fly commercially, for about 2 days after I got back, I always had like sinus problems.
Yes, that's why. Exactly. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. It's because of the flying. Yeah. I was in Miami airport all night long.
And I was
humidity. Yeah.
Humidity.
No, but they had a Dunkin' Donuts in a Subway. I was the happiest fat person.
Dunkin' Donuts.
You know, probably the happiest fat
person. I could have
person.
went a week without you saying Dunkin' Donuts.
Could you imagine? You think you're stuck there with no hot food, right? You find out there's a Subway open.
Subway's the bomb, too. I love Subway.
But as opposed to me and some fellas sitting in line in our chairs, sitting in line for Subway at like 2:30 in the morning.
You ever ate Firehouse? Have you ever had a
Firehouse?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. It's like 30 frickin' bucks.
Well,
you go to Subway, I can get out of there for $10.
But
you go to Firehouse.
Good point on that. The flight itself.
Yeah, Firehouse has pastrami.
Yeah.
It's the flight that gave me a runny nose, Mike. I want to thank you for being clear on that.
Just
Achoo!
trying to cover up
airplane does it every time.
You know, I was trying to cover up your brief. I had to dip around the corner and blow my
Yeah,
nose.
when I was at
only once, not bad. Achoo!
When I was at Fort Shafter or Oahu,
Fort Shafter.
there was a
It was on the
Subway at
NCC
PX.
Oh, yeah.
And this little old Hawaiian woman that worked there, she had these great big old Hawaiian sons.
Oh my goodness!
And they had Kahlua pork
Oh, wow.
on the menu at Subway.
Oh, wow.
Whoa!
Like she would make it at home and bring it in a crock pot.
You could in Afghanistan, you could go to like our little fake Subway, but it wasn't like, it was halal type meat and stuff like that. So it was like, yeah, I'm eating
Yeah, but halal French fries at McDonald's and
Oh, halal is delicious.
You know,
they use a different kind of oil.
Yeah,
Is that where the
I think
halal
I had
kebabs
that.
come from?
No, there's a little bitty McDonald's in Ali Al Salim, Kuwait that you can go to.
Ali what? Ali Kabul?
Ali Al Salim.
Oh, Ali Salim.
It's on the strip right next to the KFC and the Green Bean.
Yeah.
Let's go get some food,
Now
fellas.
look, there was a
food
Pizza
gas.
Hut. There was a Pizza
Hey,
Hut
it's
in
food.
Kabul.
It ain't that good.
Yeah,
Well.
no, it sucks completely. But you get the wrapper and you feel like you're important. In Kabul,
You
there
get
was
the
a
rapper
Pizza
like
Hut.
Eminem. Oh,
And you would get the box. It was a Pizza Hut box, but it wasn't a damn Pizza Hut pizza. Man, there would be like freaking ketchup,
Did it
with some
explode?
freaking goat cheese, and some freaking goat meat on it in the Pizza Hut box. But let me tell you something.
It didn't explode. What
For
do
that
you want?
brief moment while you're walking around with a Pizza Hut box in Afghanistan, you feel like a baller. You see what I'm saying? You're walking back to your hooch, and people are like, yeah, check you out. And it's like, yeah, I don't know what the hell's in here, but I got me a Pizza Hut box. So one of the best meals I ever had in Kabul was Outback Steaks.
Oh.
They showed up and they had their own cooks and all that other stuff, and they brought the meat in and all that other stuff. Holy smokes, man! When you're eating that kind of food for a year, and somebody shows up with a real live, beef fillet, you're just like, it's amazing. It's the most amazing thing in the world.
Take care of your meat, and we'll give a nice.
We ate a lot of goat. I ate a lot of goat in Afghanistan. I ate a lot of goat.
I like goat.
Goat
If
kebabs.
it's in the kebabs, I can eat it with
goat
you.
kebabs,
If it's
man.
in kebabs.
And
Yes.
and
I like it curried.
yeah, and
Yes.
and there was these. We've gotten completely off of not necessarily not.
That's
names,
all right.
But we used to eat this long grain rice.
Food is delicious.
Yeah.
with like peas and carrots and stuff like that.
Yes.
Oh man, that with the beef, the goat kebabs. Now let me tell you something. I got a video of driving down the street in Kabul, and you know how the meat is fresh?
Does it still making sounds?
No, because the amount of flies.
Oh,
Yeah, because they hack it up right in front of you, and they hook it on it.
the
There's no
amount of
refrigerator.
flies?
Yeah.
And that's a good thing if there's
Yeah,
more
yeah.
flies.
Well, no, it's rotten if there's a lot of flies on it. So when they hang it up
What's
there,
the
there's not a lot of
over-under on
flies.
your number of
Oh, look,
flies?
the guy is covered in blood and guts and entrails, and he's walking
it
around
looks
in
like
it,
the Brentwood
and he's
crime
hacking it
scene.
up. Well, they have like diamond bead, like you see on the back of a pickup truck.
Okay.
That's what their grill is.
All right.
And he'll hack you off a chunk of it, and throw it on that thing, and be fanning the crap out of it while you're standing right there waiting on it.
Those airplane flights have caused me to have to blow my nose again. So let's say goodbye to everyone. But I want to say to everyone I met in Mexico and Colombia, muchas gracias, hospitality, mucha buena fiesta. Tu eres bonita, señorita. Mwah. Vaya con Dios, amigos. Vaya con Dios.
We're losing this guy to the south. He's
I mean,
Buenas noches, amigos. Vaya con Dios. We'll see you next Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Cruz Gates.
We're done.
I'm Europe.
yeah,
Well,
do
so-
свидания, товарищ.
We
Yeah,
done.
see, with das Vidania.
Remember to check out the Brush Fire Mind every morning, 7 to
Choose my
7:30.
saying. So,
Okay, bye con Dios. We're done.
hey, look, this is Military Mike. This is
The Senate comedian.
comedian Scott Machette. This is not necessarily not the news. Hey, pay attention during the week on Facebook to Brushfire Mind, our producer Chris Lowry, and Camden, correct?
Cameron.
Cameron. Okay.
Cameron will be flying solo Thursday and
Cameron will be
Friday
running through
because
Cameron.
after the show tomorrow morning, I'm loading up the monkeys and going to the beach.
Roger that.
Really? Our producer has his own little zoo.
Well, he's
Yes, I
a
do.
very busy family man. He does about 100 things at once. So, y'all have a great week. We'll see you next
I'm
Tuesday.
the
you
joke
next
with
Tuesday.
1,000 young.
Shout out to a friend of mine, Brendan, who's in Bangkok this week. Look forward to him having a safe trip and that he gets home because we need him over at Operation Rally Point. Valkyrie Initiative, we're doing all sorts of stuff. Got to do a set for a vet coming up. So we'll be promoting all that other stuff. Hey, pay attention if you're a veteran to the Vet Radio Syndicate. What else is going on? You doing any
Happy
shows?
birthday, Margarita. Yes, hopefully I'm back on the set. But right now we're closing the show so I can run away.
Oh, okay. All right.
We'll see you
Well-
next Tuesday at 7 o'clock.
Well, run that outro, boss.
Oh,
Very good.
he take okay tinkle. Roger that.